for a little full court press, and with more on how the mess in Brooklyn all went down, let's welcome in Tim Bontemps, Nets beat writer, New York Post. Tim, how did this fall apart so quickly?
Well, guys, I mean, you go back to the way the season transpired. First couple months of the season were pretty rough. Nets went 10-21. Jason Kidd and Lawrence Frank had a falling out after Kidd pursued him all summer. Ended up reassigning Frank to file on daily reports. Guys got injured. Brook Lopez is out for the season. Things looked like they were falling apart. All of a sudden, they turned it around, have the second best record in the Eastern Conference in the second half of the season, get to the second round of the playoffs, and then after everything like it was going well, Jason Kidd goes to ownership, asks for total control of basketball operations, be put above Billy King on the organizational hierarchy, among other things. Those demands were rejected by ownership, who didn't think he was ready for them. Bucks came in and asked for permission to speak to him, and now, a couple days later, Jason's off to Milwaukee, and the Nets are looking for a new coach.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Tim, I see this as a win for the Nets. Do you think this ultimately is going to be a positive development for Brooklyn?
I think in the long run it could be. I think in the short term it could be hard to say. You know, you look at free agency starting about 6-7 hours from now. They've got Sean Livingston, Paul Pierce, Allen Anderson, all key free agents that they have to try to re-sign. They have to also figure out if they want to make any other moves at their roster. They're going to have to go through a coaching search probably with their roster finally all but finalized before they actually hire the coach, which obviously isn't ideal when you're trying to figure out what you want to do with it. So, you know, but I do think in the long term, if they can get a coach that they're comfortable with, that they can, you know, kind of grow forward with like they thought they were going to be able to with Jason Kidd, that could be a big success. But in the short term, it's obviously left the organization scrambling to try to figure out what to do next.
Well, Tim, with all that being the case, what would be the time frame considering free agency starts tonight? How important is it to get somebody in place pretty quickly?
I think they would like to get somebody in place quickly, but it's going to be hard. I mean, free agency isn't going to stop and wait for the Nets to hire a coach. So you would think they're probably going to have to make a lot of the moves they were going to before they actually have someone in place. You know, Paul Pierce is a free agent. The Clippers would probably like to talk to him, given his relationship with Doc Rivers. You know, he could look for another opportunity to go chase a championship. He doesn't think the Nets are going to be able to. Sean Livingston is definitely going to be sought after, having a brilliant season with them. After battling through some injuries over the years, he had a terrific year playing with Darren Williams in the backcourt. A lot of teams would like him to be a valuable point guard, a veteran presence for them. Allen Anderson's another guy who they would like to keep that could attract some interest after having a nice year for them off the bench, after signing a minimum contract as the last guy on the roster. So, you know, they've got a lot of things to figure out, and that's even before you talk about Kevin Garnett, who, you know, they thought was going to come back, and all indications were for the last couple months he was going to, and now you have to wonder if that might not be the case after the way this played out with Jason Kidd.
Tim, what are your sources telling you? Who is on Billy King's short list here?
Lionel Hollins appears to be the front runner. There's a report out this afternoon that they're going to meet with him in the next couple days. His name has surfaced right from the beginning. The Nets had asked to speak with him last year, only for the Grizzlies at that point to deny permission because he still was under contract, and then they ended up going with Kidd anyway. George Karl, Jeff Van Gundy, Mark Jackson are all guys that have been mentioned and all have veteran experience that could help them win right now. And one intriguing candidate could be Kevin Ollie if they decide to go the college route. Ollie's a guy that a lot of stars around the league respect, whether it's LeBron James, Kevin Durant. He's played with both of them. He's played with a lot of other guys. And he also has really impressed people with the way he's handled the whole situation at UConn, including winning the national championship this spring.
Tim, great stuff, great information, great job breaking this huge story on Saturday night, and we will follow everything by reading the New York Post. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.